What is it about good guys that doesn't do it for women?
If you're a simp, get the away from me.
You're nice, but I don't feel a romantic connection with you.
That's not a nice guy. That's a dumb guy.
Your number one criteria for wanting to be with someone is that they also want to be with you.
Meet Lauren Compton, a dynamic actress, comedian, and podcast host of First Date with Lauren Compton, whose candid conversations, like her memorable episode with dating expert Blaine Anderson, have captivated audiences everywhere.
What's your guys' best advice to get over a breakup?
Number one thing you have to do is invest in yourself.
And I would take all the pain of the breakup and all the pain and anxiety of the world I was living in, and I would totally change my life. And I would inspire millions of people. I would make millions of dollars. And fast forward, that's exactly what happened.
Exactly. And guys are really bad at this. No, women don't like assholes, but there are certain traits that assholes do have that are also attractive.
I'm sure you get questions all day, every day. What's like the most common one that men just for whatever reason don't get?
If you use this kind of language, she's gonna fall in love with the fact that you can help her, and she's not gonna look at you in a romantic way.
Lauren gets credit for Matt Rife's
I can also show you a clip. I've known him for like over 10 years. He was like, if it wasn't for you, I never would have even been here.
Before we get into this epic interview, I have one quick ask. Well, we've had the privilege of reaching millions of people on the show. The data shows that almost 80% of you guys who watch the show aren't yet subscribed. So if you could do me one quick favor and click that subscribe button right now, it would mean the absolute world to us. Because when you hit subscribe, not only are you allowing us to grow the show, get bigger guests, ask better questions, but you're allowing us to honor our commitment to do everything in our power to help you take your life, your business, your health, your relationships to that next level. And with no further ado, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the Passionate Few podcast. Today we have an incredible interview as we sit down with none other than Lauren Compton and Blaine Anderson to talk about all things life, business, and dating. So with no further ado, let's get right into it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Excited to do this here in Austin with you guys. I know it was impromptu, so I appreciate you guys being down for it. Before we get into it, I want to say, Blaine, you have so much experience with dating. You've reached tens of millions of people through social media, and you've helped men across the world literally with dating. And I know, Lauren, you've been an entertainer. You've been in over 40 films. You've done some amazing things yourself as well. So we'll get into a little bit of the humor, a little bit of the behind the scenes. But the first question I have is, what is the biggest misconception that men have about women and what women truly want?
I feel like men often think they're either born with what women want or they're not. They think, oh, like I need to look a certain way, I need to be a certain way, when the reality is it's a very learnable skill. You can become the man that women want. It's not that you're born with it. You either have it or you don't. That is absolutely not true. They're developable skills.
And how long did you kind of get into the space and help people before you started creating content online?
I've always been interested in dating and relationships and just did it for fun. And then I started my business in 2020, Dating by Blaine, during the pandemic because I worked in the travel industry before that and went to, nothing. No one was traveling in 2020. So I was like, oh, I could start talking more openly about these tips that I'm already sharing with my guy friends and people I know, and kind of snowballed from there. Very
cool. How about you, Lauren? What do you think?
I think that's really nice that you share information. I think that men and women both are, when they're looking for someone, they're in a very selfish place, and everyone wants to find what's best for them, like what fits their lifestyle. And I think it's really hard to do like the give and take in the very beginning of dating because you're solo. I don't know how to like really say this in like I guess the right way, but like you have to be open to wanting to be a better person for someone else. And you always hear people talking about the work.
Yeah.
But like you have to have some work that you've done on yourself to be open and ready for a relationship, because relationships are work. And so I think that a very common misconception is that a guy's going to go on a date with a girl that's a 10 out of 10, who has her shit together, who's like ready to sacrifice her life for him. And it's like, that's not realistic.
Yeah, disappointment's on the way on that.
Yeah, so I think having realistic expectations going into a relationship are your best friend.
Is it also hard being in the entertainment industry? because it is like something that is very, for lack of a better word, kind of selfish in the fact that you're selfishly working on your craft, you're working on your comedy, you're working on film. Is it hard to go from focusing so much on yourself and your craft to then kind of being open to another person? Is that something that you encountered in the
I don't
industry?
think so. I think that it's the same for men too. It's like if a man has a job in finance and he's like hustling for his career and he's absolutely slammed and his work comes first, and it's like, is that like a hard thing for him? Any kind of job that you have that you dedicate yourself to, it's all the same. Whether it's entertainment or creating content or working a 9 to 5. It's everyone has a job.
But don't you feel like entertainment, not saying this for you, but like celebrities, like they have a high, like I feel like celebrities are always breaking up because like if you have two like mega celebrities together, you have to be, you're traveling for your career, you have to, like you said, be really selfish. Like it seems like if one person isn't willing to sacrifice, it would be very hard to make the relationship work.
I would also argue, how successful are you in entertainment?
Yeah, if that's like
true,
You know what I
a
mean?
problem.
If it's Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie,
That's exactly who I was
Yeah,
thinking.
Mr. and
Like,
Mrs. Smith.
yeah, like let's say that I'm a celebrity and you're a
Yeah.
guy that's coming into my life.
Yeah.
I sort of win. And I get to pursue my career because
Sure.
I have found massive success in that. But if I'm just a struggling artist and I'm an actor that just like wants to be in a movie and you're successful in your business, I lose.
Right, yeah.
I don't get like, then it's, so you have to also know where you stand.
Yeah.
And don't have like some wild expectation of yourself that I don't want to go off too off on the deep end and like make anyone who's like really fighting for their dreams feel like shit. but
Give it up. You're never going to be there.
but like know where you are.
Yeah.
Know where you are. And
Your priorities.
yeah. And if you're really making a lot of money and big moves and like you're a celebrity,
And winning Cannes film festivals.
yeah, I think you win.
Yeah, very cool. Now, what about in terms of early on? Do you guys have any crazy stories, dating stories early on that kind of maybe sort of got you guys to think differently about dating early on? Because I know for you, you started sharing these tips, Blaine. Was it a catalyst event? Were you dating at the time that you blew up on social and were sharing this stuff? Or was it a series of bad dates and you were trying to help people? Or what was the impetus to kind of start with that stuff?
Yeah, I was already, when I started dating by Blaine, I was dating my husband at the time. He was like my boyfriend then. So I wouldn't say there was like a catalyst of bad dates. I think it was really looking at the environment of dating and realizing like so many people were struggling. What initially got me interested in like helping guys with dating was I lived in New York City after college, and that was when like dating apps were becoming like, it was no longer like totally weird to meet a stranger from the internet, and like dating apps were getting going. And I would look at my guy friends' dating profiles. I knew they were great guys. I knew them, like successful, really funny, smart, nice. And I'd be like, whoa, you're giving serial killer? Like, no wonder you're getting no matches. Like, let's fix
Serial
this.
killer vibes, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what are these photos? And so I would make their profile better, and then they would get matches. And I was like, oh, okay, like guys are really bad at this. Like, I can do this way better.
Yeah.
And like, also think what the girl is looking for. Like, they don't necessarily understand that.
What's the most common question you're asked when it comes to dating, or the biggest thing? Because I'm sure you get questions all day, every day. What's like the most common one that men just for whatever reason don't get?
The most common question I get, I would say one of the biggest things guys struggle with, and they're like, the question comes in different phrases, is I feel like I'm a good guy and I bring a lot to the table, but women keep telling me like, you're nice, but I don't feel a romantic connection with you. And they're not sure like how to fix that or what to do differently. They don't want to be an asshole. They don't want to be someone who's not like themselves, but they also like want women to like them. So that's one of the big things they struggle with, my clients.
The
Are
nice
all
guy.
of the guys that come to you serious about dating, or do any of them just like come out of the gate like, I just want to get laid?
I would say more are serious about dating or realize they eventually want to find their wife. Maybe they're not like, hey, I need to find my wife tomorrow, but they're like 28 and they're like, I'm realizing I have like a shit dating life and I want to date more women. I want to see what's out there. I want to feel like I have options. So that way when it's time to settle down or when I want to settle down, I'm not just like taking the first thing that comes.
So they're looking for tools.
Yeah. So it just depends. But
Is it the good guy kind of factor, the good guy syndrome?
Yeah, a lot of my clients like self-identify as introverted or shy, or will say like, I hear I'm a nice guy a lot.
What's your guys' perspective on that? I'm curious for both of you, Blaine and Lauren. What is it about good guys that doesn't do it for women? Even if they're good on paper, the resume is great. What is it about a good guy versus the chemistry that's created from maybe a little more energy or danger or whatever it is? I'm sure Lauren's got quite the opinion on this.
I honestly, I've never been attracted to like a bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the nice guy.
Really? That's shocking to me that you've never been attracted to the bad boy.
I don't like to be hurt, and I don't like to be tricked, and I don't like to waste my time.
Good for you.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
And it's never turned me on. It's never made me like want you more. But I don't like a guy that I can walk all over. There's a difference in being nice and being a simp.
Yes.
If you're a simp,
Yeah.
get the fuck away from me.
What is a simp? How would Lauren define
A simp is someone who doesn't have any fucking balls to stand up for themselves. They have no personal opinions. Whatever you like, they like. They're a personal yes man. They just fall all over you for like basically either the way you look or who you are, or like you're the prettiest girl they've ever been out with, and they just don't want to lose you, and so they like lose themselves. And so
become yes men.
Yeah. So that's not a nice guy. That's a dumb guy. But if a guy is nice and he has his own like boundaries and he's got some edge to him in the sense where he's not going to tell you what you want to hear, he'll be nice about it, but he'll disagree with you properly in like a respectful manner. And then you have interesting conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
know?
Totally. To add to that, I think it's like taking this back, like looking at this evolutionarily, like take this way back to like caveman days. Does the woman want to be with the guy who's like giving away all his resources and like catering to everybody else's needs, or like the man who gets shit done and stands up for himself and takes care of his family and his pack and like looks out for those around him? Like that's attractive. And so fast forward to modern times, same thing applies. If you have a guy who doesn't respect himself, is willing to bend over backwards for a woman he barely knows, that's unattractive.
Yeah.
Versus a guy who has boundaries, says what he thinks, isn't scared what other people think, whether you're a hot woman or his boss or whoever. Like that's really attractive. And I think that's where the confusion when guys are like, women like assholes. It's like, no, women don't like assholes, but there are certain traits that assholes do have that are also attractive. Standing up for yourself, not caring, if somebody doesn't agree with you. So I think that's where the misconception lies.
And I think confidence too, to Lauren's point, too, is like a man who has confidence, because a lot of it is sub-communicated. It's not even, you can't even do it in words, right? I'm curious, have you guys ever had, maybe early on before you, I know you're with your husband now, but early on, did you guys ever have any crazy first date stories or any kind of stories of guys who just got super nervous or just big red flags when it comes to first dates?
I mean, I've definitely had some red flag first dates, but I wouldn't say like someone being crazy nervous is like a crazy first date or even a red flag. That's just like, okay, they clearly have some self-work to do, so they're not seeking like,
Sure.
I feel like oftentimes if you're very nervous around other people, you're nervous on a date, it's because you need validation from others. Like you really want to impress her, you want to make sure she likes you, as opposed to coming in and being like, I'm great, I have a lot to offer. Like, let's see if this is a fit. Let's see if we are compatible. Going in and making it a mutual thing as opposed to just like, can I get this person to like me?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Hey guys, we'll get right back to this video in a sec, but first, I have a quick question for you. Given that the e-commerce industry is growing by the trillions year over year, have you ever dreamed of owning your own e-commerce business like many of the guests we've had on the show, but maybe you feel stuck on how to start? Well, if so, you're not alone. The truth is, starting and setting up your own online store can be incredibly time-consuming, complicated, and get expensive. Not to mention the hassle of researching top products and staying on top of market trends that make you money. Lucky for you, that's where today's sponsor, StoreBuild.ai, comes in. With StoreBuild.ai, you instantly get a free custom-built, AI-driven store loaded with 20 winning products and a custom theme that can help you generate sales. All you need to do is head to StoreBuild.ai, enter your info, then simply sign up to Shopify for free, choose your store's look and feel, and voila! They'll send you your custom-built store ready to generate sales. The whole process is lightning fast. Whether you're just starting out or want to grow, storebuild.ai makes launching an online store easier than ever. So why wait? Visit storebuild.ai and in less than 5 minutes, you could have the e-commerce business you've always dreamed of. Thanks to StoreBuild.ai for sponsoring this video. And now let's get back to the show.
I had a really fun, crazy first date. That
Tell us. Spill the beans.
I was in London on tour, and I matched with this guy on Raya, and he was a celebrity, and I was very attracted to him. I'll tell you off camera.
Can we get a clue?
Yeah. What kind of celebrity? What area?
He was in Game of Thrones. I know. I was like, oh my god! And he was a villain
Oh shit.
in Game of Thrones. So he was like double slam.
My
bad
wheels
boy.
are turning. Okay.
So I was on tour and I matched with this guy. And it was like on the last 3 days that I was in London. And he was in Wales at the time, which was like very far away from London. It's like a 4-hour train ride and then a 2-hour car ride. It's like a lot.
You're like, I'm there.
Whatever it takes.
Sure. What? Where? When? I couldn't go. I couldn't meet him. I wanted to. And he was trying to come to London, and I was like, we were trying to like figure it out.
Right.
But it didn't happen. And I was like, I gotta go back to Texas. I was living in Texas, and this is right before I met the guy that I'm with now. So anyway, I ended up FaceTiming with him every single day for like 4 months.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would say as a dating coach, that's a no.
Red flag.
I was so smitten by this guy.
Yeah.
And I was very single, and I had nothing to do.
What's the difference between single and very single?
You know, I say that a lot. I actually say very single or very monogamous a lot, and I get that question. I was so single that it hurt. Like I wasn't dating anybody
you had
else.
time to FaceTime him every single day. That's what so single means. You're not going on dates with anybody.
Zero dating life. Like I wasn't going out with anybody.
So you went from zero to Game of Thrones, Wales, like
and I think I was also like way in over my head with this guy, and so I was just like,
you're overinvested. Guys do this all the time. Yeah,
I was
overinvested.
simping.
You've never met him. You're obsessed.
I know.
What causes that, Blaine?
Overinvestment?
Yeah.
Well, oftentimes when you're very single and you don't have other options, you end up overinvesting. That's why I'm always like, you should be dating multiple people early on so you don't overinvest in any one person and put too much pressure on that relationship.
Or expectation.
Exactly. Like case in point, like you're fantasizing about this person you don't know yet, imagining a future together when you don't know if the chemistry in person is even there yet. So I'm excited.
Totally.
I'm excited to hear how this goes.
Yeah.
So then,
4 months in. Okay.
so he does this movie in Wales.
What film? We're gonna crack this code.
He's filming a show or a movie or something at the time, and he was like in Wales, and he was very back and forth and whatever. So he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Wales for like 3 months, and if you want to meet, I'll fly you." To London, and then you can come.
He better fly you.
And you can come to Wales and whatever. So we decided to spend 2 weeks together.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay.
If I'm flying that far,
yeah. You can always just ditch him and go back to London.
You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
But I had spent so much time FaceTiming this guy that I had like a pretty good grasp on the fact that we had good chemistry.
Yeah.
I wanted to have sex with him.
Yeah.
I was like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
So I fly, I go, I'm in Wales, fall in love. I'm
on the edge of my seat.
I fall in love with this guy. I think he's so great. We had the best chemistry. He gave me, in Wales, they have like a love spoon. So he gives me a love spoon, which makes me think that he's in love with me.
Yeah, as one would.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And so then I come back to Austin. We FaceTime for 3 more months. He comes and visits Austin.
So you had an amazing 2 weeks together.
Amazing 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then he comes for like 10 days.
Wow, okay.
And then, so I'm thinking maybe I'm moving to London.
Yeah. This is it.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to move to London. So I decide to go out there for like a month and a half.
Wow.
And we're going to like really try it. And I like book all of these hotels on the weekends to stay with him during the week. He had a son. And I was like, you know, you can have your son on the weekends and then I'll just do my own thing. Whatever. 5 days before it happens, before I go out there, he calls me.
Oh, no.
And he breaks up with me.
Oh, shit.
And he's like, I can't do this because I'm afraid that we're getting too serious. And if you come out here for that long, we're going to be in something real.
Yeah. You're like, yeah.
I'm like, no
Aren't we in
shit.
something real?
What do you mean?
We've been
It's
talking
been
for 5 months. Yeah.
Like, of course. And this is the next step in like making something stronger.
Sure.
And he just was not ready for that. And the way that he like broke up with me was so cold.
Wow.
And he like looked nice, which I fucking hated.
Like, have some decency and look like a scrub
like,
while doing
please
this.
dump me when you look like you're worse. And so he like did his hair and is like, and he looked nice. And then he was just like so straight and blunt about it. And was
No
just like,
room for negotiation.
No.
That's almost better though.
Cold turkey?
Cold turkey, call was 5 minutes, clip, bye. I was bawling.
Yeah.
Which was so embarrassing. I was just crying my eyes out and I was like, I hope you find someone that loves you. And I'm like, oh my God, pathetic. And then I
Watch the episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
God.
then you binge Game of Thrones.
I can't watch Game of Thrones now because I'm like, ooh. No, but then recently he like shot me a message and was like, how are you? And I just
Like, nice
blocked
try.
him.
Yeah.
I was like, get out of my life, dude. I'm pregnant.
But this is a good learning. I work with clients sometimes who are so distraught about a breakup. Like, oh, this person was my soulmate. I had such a strong connection with her. Like how you felt when he broke up with you. And then you said this was shortly before you met your current partner, your baby daddy.
Yeah.
Like your one and only who's like amazing. And I think it's important. It's obviously hindsight's 2020. It's so hard in the moment. But just remembering like it's okay to feel that hurt and that disappointment when someone breaks up with you. But your number one criteria for wanting to be with someone is that they also want to be with you.
Yeah.
So if a girl doesn't like you back or a guy doesn't like you back, that should in and of itself should be like, okay, I can still think they're an amazing person, but I don't necessarily want to be with them anymore.
That's so true. And when he broke up with me, there was like the next day, I was like 50% already over it. Because I was like,
because you're so confident and
Yeah,
like
I'm
you
like,
don't
well,
need validation from someone else.
if you weren't ready for that,
Yeah.
thank God I didn't come. I didn't
Yeah.
move. I didn't
Right.
waste my time. And then I had a friend of mine who was
you
like,
don't like me, like
Yeah.
what's wrong with you? Like that should be the attitude.
and I
Right.
got a lot of validation that I had a really good time.
yeah.
Like have you ever been in a relationship where you left it and you could honestly say like, that was really fun.
Totally. Not the right person, not
Yeah.
the right timing,
But
whatever.
like that was awesome.
Yeah, it was worth the ride. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can at least say that like that was the freaking most fun like short relationship.
Right.
So like I have like no hard feelings against him. I actually appreciate the honesty.
Totally.
Like
as opposed to letting you go there
come
and
there
then
and-
be kind of cold
oh
and
my
like
God.
back and
Spending
forth.
a month and a half with someone
No.
thinking that we had
I
a future.
appreciate the cold turkey,
Yeah.
True.
quick clip, like
Truly.
we're done.
Versus
Yeah.
mixed
Even though it
signals.
hurts
Yeah.
more sometimes.
But I had respect for that. And I think that goes back to like nice guys and stuff. Like he wasn't trying to be mean. He just didn't know how else to do it. So when he was like trying to let me go, he was also trying to be nice enough to not
Waste your time.
waste
or-
my time
Yeah.
or waste his time or make us both believe that something was happening when it wasn't for him.
He's not a bad guy just
He's
because he
not a
didn't
bad
want to be
guy.
with you. It's just
No,
like-
and I don't have, like I said, I don't have anything against him, and I like wish him the best. But I also am not gonna chat with you.
yeah.
Yeah. It's also probably good material for stand up too.
Maybe
As an artist, right? They say pain makes for great art. You
Yeah,
find
I
that to be
think
case.
the worse the pain, the better the punchline.
like that.
And I always do appreciate that. When I cry, I'm always like, oh, this is gonna be such a good joke. This is gonna be so funny.
It's gonna be on my special.
Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
I see influencers like crying on camera, I'm like they have like their like clips or I'm like, are you like crying? And you're like, gotta get this. They like
Yeah,
set it up, they
exactly.
get the light, and then they're like wiping away their tears. I'm like, honestly, I appreciate
Yeah.
the foresight of like I could use this in a clip or a montage later on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly framed up, and they have
Yeah.
the music in the background,
Yeah.
and they even look out the window. And like the rain is perfectly choreographed.
The art, yeah.
What's your
great.
What's your guys' best advice to get over a breakup, or to heal from it, or bounce back from it? Because a lot of guys actually don't recover. I know a lot of successful guys. You see it at every level, right? You see it 7, 8, 9-figure guys worth X amount. I mean, even in Hollywood, you see it all the time. Where, you know, look at the Johnny Depp situation. I think she shit on his bed or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. So there's no one's exempt, so to speak. I'm curious, what's your best advice, Blaine? Because I'm sure you see heartbreak all the time.
Yeah.
What are some of the common denominators you see between guys who bounce back versus people that just stay stuck in the cycle
So
of
the
woe is
number
me?
one thing you have to do is invest in yourself. That doesn't necessarily mean jump right back into dating, but it's level yourself up. So spend time getting really confident, really good at something that you want. So that could be picking up a new hobby, a sport, investing in your career, something that's going to make you feel good about yourself, keep yourself busy. And then ideally, whatever that thing is also going to pay off and make you a more attractive partner, more attractive dater later. So I talk about this all the time. It's like, you got to have hobbies. Even like the guy who is really successful, if all you do is work,
Right.
sure, some women might be okay with that, but that 10 out of 10 woman is not going to be that impressed if all you do is work around the clock. Having hobbies that you enjoy and you're good at and you're passionate about is super sexy. And it doesn't matter if she enjoys the same hobby or is like also doing it, but just you having basically a personality is huge. So and oftentimes when you're in a relationship, especially if you're head over heels with someone, we tend to lose ourselves a little bit. So go back to what's important for you, lean into that, and build yourself up before jumping back into dating.
Hey guys, quick question. Have you been enjoying this video, but you're thinking to yourself, man, I love this content, but I want to learn how to grow my brand or my business? Well, if your answer is yes, you're not alone. In fact, millions of entrepreneurs deal with this exact same issue. And it's something that I've learned the answer to from interviewing 7, 8, and 9-figure entrepreneurs around the world. And this philosophy that solves all that is a concept called who, not how. Now, the who, not how philosophy states that anytime you're stuck on the hows to get to the next level in your life, your brand, or your business, that there's always a who to help you get there. And it's for this exact reason that I'm super excited to announce that I've officially launched our brand new Passionate Few community to help you do exactly that. And yes, it's 100% free. Join me and the thousands of other entrepreneurs that can help you make your life, your business, and your dreams a reality. With no further ado, let's get back to the video.
I think a lot of people talk about turning pain into power, right? Turning the rock bottom into like the reason that they became a rock star and whatever they do. I know for me early on, I had a breakup probably about 3-4 years ago, and that rocked me. I mean, not the Game of Thrones level, but it was pretty bad. And that was actually a catalyst for me to reinvent myself. And she was super into like all these big entrepreneurs and authors. So when I started the show, my first episodes out the gate were with those authors. Like I didn't tell her, but it was kind of like out of my like revenge mind.
Yeah.
Like I didn't tell her, but I was like, all right, like that
I'm
didn't
gonna be
work
friends
out.
with all these dudes you admire.
Yeah. Well, dude, men and women,
Yeah.
And then those episodes ended up getting millions of views and reaching a bunch of people. But that was actually the catalyst because I had a coach or mentor I invested in, and he said, if life was perfect, what would happen next? And I said, if life was perfect, I would quit my job. I was working at Tesla at the time, and I would take all the pain of the breakup and all the pain and anxiety of the world I was living in, and I would totally change my life. And I would inspire millions of people. I would make millions of dollars, and I would surround myself with amazing authors and entertainers and entrepreneurs and experts, and I would share those with other people. And fast forward, that's exactly what happened. But it was born out of the pain of that breakup. And that's why I have such a soft spot for that, because I know there's a lot of people who've been there, and a lot of people don't kind of make it out. And the ones that do usually have an epic story to tell or make great art or do epic shit, you know? So yeah, I'm curious for you, Lauren, how did you get out of that and get over that breakup at that time?
Oh, well, like I said, he wasn't being a bad guy, and I got over it like within a few days. But I jump right back into the dating scene. Like, I don't stay single for long.
So you were back on Raya.
I actually never got back on Raya. And he was like the only like person I really enjoyed off of that app.
Right.
I never really liked apps. I met my current man in person. And
Love that.
That
Where was that? What was that story?
great. He owns Terry Black's Barbecue,
Okay.
which is a famous barbecue restaurant.
Have you
here in
been?
town.
I literally just went to Terry Black's. I literally just went there 2 days ago in Dallas, right?
Oh,
He's
nice.
got
Yeah,
one in
yeah.
Dallas.
So good.
Yeah, and there was
one
one
in
down the street.
Austin.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he owns Terry Black's.
He owns Terry Black's.
Very cool. The beef ribs are amazing.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
yes.
take personal credit. I shouldn't call him.
like it's your recipe. That's awesome.
I'm very proud of him. So like whenever he does something really cool, like Blaine, I'm always telling Blaine, I'm like, there's a new opening in Fort Worth if you want to come. And she's like, when is it? And I'm like, the 17th. She's like, it's my birthday. And I'm like, okay.
I love that you always invite me though.
I do. I'm like,
it.
come
That's
eat
awesome.
all the food.
My husband, when I told him, I was like, oh, Lauren invited us to the new Terry Black's opening. He's like, can we go? I was like, it's on my birthday. He's like, so? And I was like, no, we have other plans. So,
like, so
no,
what?
we can't go.
That's so funny.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, at Terry Black's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you were just in there. What happens? Walk us through the
A
story.
friend of mine, I'll make this story short. A mutual friend of ours is a guy and invited me to go have lunch, and I was like on a keto diet, and so I was like, wherever we go, it has to be high protein because I'm on this keto diet. He's like, let's go to Terry Black's. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to wait in line. There's no way. He's like, well, I know someone that works there. Didn't say he knows the owner or anything like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we go there, and Mark was in an apron bussing tables, so I thought he was a busboy. And he comes up because he sees our mutual friend and shakes my hand and was like very kind and cordial. And he was like, what can I get you to eat? And I'm like, I don't really care. I'm just hungry. Just meat. I don't want any sides. So he brings me this like tray, like as if I was Tarzan. Like I'm gonna like
No mac
seriously,
and cheese?
dude.
Potato
I actually
salad.
think he did bring out a tray with all of the sides. Like it was
Sides are so
it was
good.
embarrassing how much food he brought. I was like, I didn't even look like this at the time. I'm like, you think I can stuff this down? Thanks.
Yeah.
And so he was really sweet, and he sat down with us, which I thought was very weird for a busboy to do. And we ate. And then I was celebrating that day. I had just signed a contract with my podcast studio, YMH, and I was like over the moon. This contract had been in and out for over a year. We've been negotiating and all this stuff. My lawyer like died. So I had to find a new lawyer.
actually
like,
died?
Like I actually
No
died.
way. He actually-
because the deal was so stressful.
I guess so. I don't know.
killer deal. Yeah.
So it like really
Literally a
elongated it
killer
because I had to
deal.
find a new lawyer in the middle of it. It was a whole
Wow.
thing. Also, R.I.P. to that lawyer. He was really, really nice.
Yeah, rest in peace. We just cracked a joke when you.
I know. I shouldn't have, but I can't help it. Things fly out of my mouth. So he came with us to a little like to party afterwards, and we had a really, really good time. He ended up driving me home and asked me if he could take me out on a date. And I was very single
Then too.
then too. This was like probably a month after Game of Thrones guy.
Oh wow.
And
fresh, yeah.
yeah. And so I was very single. I really wasn't dating anyone, but I was also in a good place. Like I said, I wasn't like hung up on this guy, this other guy. So I was like, sure, I'll go out with a busboy. Why not? So we went
Wait, is this what
paddleboarding.
you still thought
I
he
thought
was
he
the
was a
busboy?
busboy for about a week into our
Oh, so
relationship.
he never told you he was the owner? of
No,
Terry
we
Black?
never had that
first
conversation
day?
because I'm very good at talking about myself.
Right.
So
You didn't ask him any
I
questions.
didn't ask him a single fucking question. He was just
Red
like,
flag.
he was just asking me questions, and I loved that. I was like, this guy's so genuinely interested in me. So we ended up going paddleboarding one day, and he's like, do you want to paddleboard to my lake house? And I was like, sure, we can do that. I'm like,
Whoa,
I'm
for a
like,
bus
lake
boy.
house? I'm like, it's probably like a wooden shack on the lake, you know?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, so we go and we pull up to this dock with this staircase that goes up like the side of a mountain to like leads to a mansion. And I'm like,
It's a very nice house. I've been there.
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't think we should break into this house.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's my house.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is your house? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, let's go see it. And we walk in and I'm like, you do really good for a busboy. And he goes, what? And I was like, I'm just saying, like, do you come from money or like how have we done this?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I own Terry Black's and it's like a pretty successful restaurant. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
But he probably really liked that you didn't know that and
Right.
still like wanted to hang out with him. And,
People
like,
think this story is bullshit. And I swear to God, it's not. I did
So
not.
You never asked him beyond anything?
I never
but the
asked him
busboy?
anything. No. No, I never asked him what he did.
Yeah.
I never, because I thought I knew.
Right.
And I'm like,
And you're like, I
You don't
don't need.
embarrass them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like clear that you're the busboy. Like, I don't need to like.
how much information can you really give me?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Work at Terry Black's.
Yeah, you bust tables at Terry Black's and you're here with me. Like, I'm the most interesting card in the deck right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you're like, ooh, turns out maybe not.
And then he shows me his fucking mansion and he's like, I own the largest restaurant in the United States. And I'm like, oh, it's time to talk about you. Let's find out what you do. Do you want a family and kids and stuff? And so then our relationship skyrocketed and
You started asking questions.
Yes,
The
I was.
conversation
You were
was
interested.
more of a back and forth.
Suddenly I was like, okay, well, you win. You have a lot going on. Let's talk about you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I've been with him ever since I thought he was a busboy. And it's been like 2.5 years.
Is it hard being with an entrepreneur like that?
I would not say he is an entrepreneur.
What? What do you mean?
He's not an
But
entrepreneur.
he's started so many restaurants and businesses.
He's a business owner, but
Okay.
he's not trying to do a startup. He's not like
I still think that counts as an I would
Yeah,
define an
What
is an
entrepreneur
entrepreneur?
as a business owner, someone
Yeah.
who starts something. It could be a restaurant, it could be a tech company, it could be a dating service like myself.
I feel like an entrepreneur is someone who's like
Innovative.
still fighting for their dreams.
no
That's
way. Jeff Bezos is an entrepreneur.
He's a business owner.
I think you mean more so like startup entrepreneur, but still in what he does, there's still locations and scouting and staff. And like the premise of asking the question is that an entrepreneur or business owner or franchise owner, whatever, has so much on their mind constantly that it's hard to slow down for their significant other.
Oh, no, he's good at slowing down.
Yeah.
So I guess, I mean, if that's what an entrepreneur
I think we're just
is-
having differing definitions.
Yeah. I mean, we can call him whatever we want. I'm still down to call him a busboy. You know, I don't really care. Whatever his title is.
Yeah.
But he is a family man. Like, Blaine, have you met him?
I haven't met Mark yet. And I've met his
Oh, wow.
gosh.
I've met his mom.
And you've been
Lauren
to
and
the
I have
house.
become very good friends. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been to the house, but because I feel like he's always working.
Well, look, if you want to come have all you can eat on your birthday, you can meet him.
yeah.
He is the biggest family man I've ever met in my whole entire life. He
awesome.
loves kids. And so me being pregnant and us having a family is probably the happiest I've ever seen him and probably the happiest he's ever been because this is what he's always wanted. The restaurant and the success has really come to him through all of his years of hard work. So we're in just a really good place. I mean,
Awesome.
yeah,
awesome.
I got extremely lucky.
I literally just tried Terry Black's like 2 days ago. So that's so funny that conversation happens 2 days after I try the food. Amazing.
Thanks.
Yeah. Now,
Thank you.
yeah. Now, let me ask you this. What about in terms of, this is more so maybe a Blaine question, but feel free to chime in, Lauren, is what about when you see a lot of guys who are entrepreneurs? I'm sure you see a lot of challenges that differ from them versus guys who maybe are more traditional or have 9 to 5. So the divorce rate's highest among entrepreneurs. What advice do you have for entrepreneurs dating that maybe differs from the average guy dating?
Wait, hold on. Can I be more specific with the question?
Sure.
When we say entrepreneur, are they successful entrepreneurs?
How do you define successful?
Well,
Like, do they own Terry Black's?
No, I'm honestly asking because I'm trying to understand how we're defining an entrepreneur. Are you saying in the question that an entrepreneur is like doing a startup and he's fighting for his dreams, or he has started something and it's successful and he's just working a lot?
Well, to be honest, I would make the argument that most entrepreneurs feel the same. Whether they're making $100,000 a year and they want to make $1 million, or they make 10 million and they're trying to make 100, they're all fighting for something.
But are they successful?
In
What is
various,
either
in,
way?
in various ebbs and flows.
You know, what is success? Is that relative?
That's a totally different question. I feel like you have this idea that an
Black and
entrepreneur
white.
can't be successful.
Yes.
That they are
I think that's what
Struggling
it is.
or on Game of Thrones.
That's what I'm
I
seeing.
think that's what it is.
But I feel like I don't think that's not how I think about an entrepreneur. I think about an entrepreneur who's building something.
Correct.
Whether they have achieved monetary success or not, they are like you said, they are fighting for what they are building. And it could be at the beginning. It's more about like the stage they're in. It could be at the beginning, or they could be like more further along in what they are building, like Mark is.
They're preoccupied building.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Okay.
And I would say one of the mistakes I see any entrepreneur, but even successful entrepreneurs or businessmen make, is they treat dating like they treat their business. The things that make them very good at business, being super on top of like responding to people, being very proactive in taking the next step, being very logical and detail oriented. Those things don't actually translate to good first dates. Like if you are constantly in problem solving mode, if a girl is telling you about her day and she's like maybe complaining or like, you know, looking for empathy about something going on in her life, and you immediately go into manager problem solving mode, that's not like creating the emotional connection. Maybe it's creating an intellectual connection, but that's not how she's going to feel romance towards you. So that's something I see successful men make, a mistake successful men make in their dating life, is treating it too much like business.
That's very true, actually.
I think that's a super huge red flag too when guys do that, because I think you will pigeonhole yourself, because women are usually in this day and age also trying to be successful.
Correct.
And if you become this problem solver, I can help you with this. Oh, I know someone who I can connect you with that you would like really should talk to. If you use this kind of language where like you're so good at problem solving that you can help her build whatever she's trying to do, you're going to get stuck in what you said of being out of a romance and being into like creating business now. And you're
networking.
Yeah, you're networking. And the girl isn't going to fall in love with how much you can help her. She's going to fall in love with the fact that you can help her. And she's not going to look at you in a romantic way. I've known girls who are like so business oriented that that's actually all they want. They don't want romance. And the guy's trying to get romance by like barking up this tree, and it never, ever happens.
Yeah. One of the tactics I learned, and I do this with my girlfriend, and it's like the one breakthrough thing that actually works. Because I know, you know, the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, is anytime she's complaining or she's having a, you know, rough day or whatever, I used to get involved and try to solve it like every guy on planet Earth. Now I say, hey, babe, do you want my advice or do you want my support? That way it prefaces it right up front. That way I don't start saying something or give advice. And sometimes she'll just say support, and I know to back the fuck away.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's advice, then I've asked for permission.
Yeah.
So that's my like go-to. Advice or support? Advice or support?
Yeah.
Because I've been burned too many times the other way. And millions of men deal with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because women don't, like, it's so hard for men to understand that. Sometimes women just want to vent for an hour about everything that went wrong.
Yeah.
And they want you to absorb it.
Yeah.
But being a male and being a man and pursuing your dreams, an entrepreneur, whether you're struggling or whatever, the male imperative is to solve it, fix it. But with women, you just have to kind of just let it pass.
I can't believe I'm about to give this advice, but it's
but here we go. Exclusive.
I am not the person to say this, but ask questions.
Yeah.
Like
after you just said you didn't ask a single question on a multi-hour date and to interact like
until you saw a huge mansion. She's like, duh, ask questions.
I think feeling questions, like how did that make you feel?
Right.
What was that like for you?
Instead of trying to problem solve. If you can ask a girl questions about how.
But sometimes they get mad though, the timing of the questions too.
What do you mean?
Because say a girl's going through something and you ask questions, sometimes you could ask them too prematurely.
Oh, you mean like you're butting in, just like let her keep talking?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like know when to ask the question.
Oh, yeah.
You got to read the room a little bit. And I like your advice. Like, are you looking for solutions or are you looking for empathy?
Advice or support,
But you need to... That's like really great advice if you're in a relationship, if you're dating someone. If you're like on a first, second, third date, don't ask that question. Read the room and probably default, unless like she's directly asking you for advice, go with like what Lauren said, like tactically, you know, ask questions like, oh wow, that sounds really challenging. Like, how did you feel about that? Or like, what are your thoughts about what to do next? Like, instead of going in shifting it, I call that a shift response, where you make it about me. Well, one time I had a problem like this and I did X, Y, and Z. Keep it a support response, which is supporting what she's saying. Wow, that sounds really challenging. How did that make you feel? And ask a follow-up. So tactically early on in dating, I think I just wanted to make that clear, as opposed to like don't ask like, are you looking for advice or solutions?
Support.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
support. Like if you just met someone, she's
Just
gonna
to
be like,
have thought-provoking conversation without trying to solve the situation. Because I think that's what makes really interesting conversation. And some people really struggle with conversation, especially in dating.
I hear that all the time from my clients.
It can be hard when you don't know someone.
And you don't want to say the wrong thing or come across the wrong way. Or,
And you want to be like helpful. And usually when someone's trying to be helpful, like if one of the people is like struggling, your natural instinctive reaction is to help. But instead of helping by overdoing, I think you can help by just having like some really good engaging conversation and asking like small questions about like so how long have you been at this? How long have you been doing this? What's your end goal? Like, what are you?
What made you interested in that?
Yeah, like asking questions. First of all, you're going to learn a lot more about what they're going through and talking about and what they want. And they're going to feel really good because they get to talk about themselves. Everybody loves to talk about
Everybody
themselves.
loves that. She will have a better. I saw a study that was like women have a better perception of how the date went the more they talk. Which is, I think, like really true for anyone. So if you want to optimize for her having a good time, keep her talking. And that doesn't mean make it an interview. You don't just want to be firing off questions. You want to keep it flowing
Flowy.
on a specific topic. But you'd be surprised how much I hear that advice, like that feedback from women. It's like, guys just need to ask questions.
I got
and
pregnant.
feel like they can listen. You got pregnant for asking questions.
No, he asked so many questions in the beginning
That now you're pregnant.
That now I'm pregnant. So yeah, I mean,
We're gonna need a little details there.
I like jumping the gun sometimes. But yeah, I think that's super solid advice is keep her talking.
What about in terms of the right time to walk away from a relationship?
Like if you're questioning if it's the right one.
And you're the one ending it.
Yeah. Whether you're a man or woman, when's the right time, in your guys' opinion, to walk away from a relationship?
I think when one for sure way to tell us when there is more bad than good. So if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, we have such a good time sometimes, but 60% of the time we're fighting or I'm anxious or I don't feel like this is going well, that's time to walk away. You can still have good in a relationship and still have it be time to leave. And certainly if the bad is outweighing the good, then I would say the good needs to significantly outweigh the bad to be worth staying for.
Yeah. I think to a certain degree, too, I heard something that said that most people, when they get into relationships, they're looking for chemistry or energy or all these things. But what keeps you in a relationship is peace. So the things that kind of get people into a relationship versus keep them are very different. You know what I mean? Would you agree with that? Or what have you seen in terms of what gets people together versus what keeps them together over a long enough time?
Yeah, I think you have to have the initial chemistry up front. But like you said, that's not what keeps you together. Shared values, shared interests, peace is what keeps you together in the long term. And that's why I really encourage my clients. And whenever I have the opportunity to speak to women, I always say, hey, ladies, like consider that this guy might not have nailed the chemistry or the fireworks on the first date because he's shy or introverted or nervous, but that's not going to make him a bad partner. In fact, that might make him a really good long-term partner. So for both men and women, but especially the women who are like, oh, he's nice, but I just didn't feel the romantic spark, give it a second date, give it a third date. If this person shares your values and you had a good time with them, even if it's not fireworks and sparks flying right away, give it another shot. See what can develop, because I think we live in a time with social media and dating apps where we expect everything to be instantaneously how we want it and instantaneously at our doorstep. And a lot of people miss out on really good connections because of that, and they aren't willing to let that feeling grow.
Really well said. How do you think social media has changed the dynamic of dating in 2024, 2025?
I know people that go on dates with Chat GPT.
That is true.
What do you mean?
Like, I know that
be
this girl will never watch this podcast. She posted, and I can't believe she published this online, but she posted this tweet about how excited she was to go to a fancy Italian dinner with her laptop and have a deep conversation with Chat GPT. and ask questions to which she would get validation and true, honest answers. And she like took life advice from Chat GPT, and then and then she ate this food and had this wine and like said she had like the best experience ever. I am not friends with this person.
I'm shocked that was a woman
anymore.
and not a man.
Yeah. I know, but guys now are also dating AI models.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. And like paying for them.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And there's just some really Indian in India that's like totally created this person that's chatting with you, and it's not the girl you think it is. It's some weirdo that
in Nepal.
Yeah. And so, I think that the problem is it's going both ways. Like girls are not connecting to guys and guys aren't connecting to girls because of this like perception of like what a perfect girl looks like.
Everyone thinks that they deserve an Instagram model or the perfect person because they see this on social media, on Instagram, on OnlyFans, and they're like, my girlfriend should look like that. My boyfriend should be like that. Like, look at this happy relationship. And they forget that that's all fake.
Yep.
The Instagram model that you're looking at doesn't even look like that in person.
And
that is not a real human.
And the couple that is posting on social media 3 years later are not even together, and it's a big mess, and there's restraining orders and all sorts of shit.
Yeah. So I think it's easy to like see the internet and see what you see on social media and think like, oh, like that's perfect and that's what I should strive for. And that isn't reality. You know, even looks wise, like social media has made dating global, which in some ways is great. Like I know people who have met through dating apps and through social media. You never would have met Game of Thrones guy like if you didn't have those opportunities. So I'm not saying it's all bad, but it is giving people false expectations of reality and also like what they deserve. Like you're taking like the 2 hottest girls from every small town and putting them on social media when 50 years ago those were the only 2 hot girls in your periphery. You weren't seeing millions of these like top girls from all over. So your expectations were very different. You were more willing to go for like the average nice girl.
And I think the disposable nature of it too, especially with the younger generation, it's like as soon as something didn't work, they just swipe on the next thing or go on Insta, and there's a whole waiting list of people. In the
exactly. And that goes back to what I was saying about you don't feel the spark right away. You don't feel like, oh, I don't think he's my soulmate or she's my soulmate. So like I have this queue of people on the dating app that I can go back to. I don't have to like go out and meet someone. So it's much easier to dispose of the person in front of you and just go on to the next. And I think that's really detrimental to relationships overall. And that's why we're having an epidemic of more single people, more lonely people. We have so much more opportunity to connect with technology, but that's not actually making people less lonely. It's making them more lonely.
Do you see that too with a lot of your clients? Because I'm sure a lot of them, like a lot of the dating starts or a big part of it is through digital, not so much in person. Do you see that being something they struggle with too?
So in my coaching, we always talk about social media and we always perfect the dating app to make it a tool, but I'm very adamant that can't be your only tool. If you're just relying on dating apps and social media, you are not going to have the fulfilling dating life you could have if you learn how to approach women in person and meet women in real life, form community. So I'm very adamant that my clients develop both skills.
What about when it comes to like, for example, successful relationships? Because you've coached how many men now at this stage? Thousands.
Yeah, I've had over 4,000 actually now clients.
So out of the 4,000 clients, what are the common denominators of guys you see who end up having success in a long-term dating relationship versus the ones that don't? I'm sure common denominators pop out, right?
Yeah, the number one thing is being willing to stick with it. So, okay, I teach you about having a great online dating profile, or I teach you how you should approach women successfully. If you approach 4 women and none of them work out and you're like, I give up, like this doesn't work, like of course you're going to fail. Like it's like with business, like if you give up the first time your idea isn't successful, you aren't going to be a successful entrepreneur. You have to A/B test, you have to innovate, you have to keep going. And the same applies for dating. Like you need to look at the scope as something bigger than, okay, I can fix this in 1 week or 1 month. You maybe have been doing the wrong thing or approaching this the wrong way for years, maybe decades. Then you get the script I give you, like the playbook essentially of how to do it in a way that's been proven successful for thousands of clients. But if you try and implement it and then it doesn't work immediately for you, so you get frustrated and give up, then you're not going to have success. But if you stick with it, if you iterate, if you A/B test, if you try different things that are going to work for you, you will find success.
I love that. Well said. What about when it comes to, I posted to my community that I was going to be interviewing you guys, and someone asked, when it comes to charm, what do women and what do you guys in particular define as a charming man, whether it be charisma or whatever it is? Like, what are the traits that stick out to women that a lot of men don't see?
This is where you talk about your learned skill.
Yeah, because it is learnable, I think.
Yeah.
Like, having charm is learnable. You touched on this earlier. The number one thing is confidence. Without confidence, it's impossible to be charming or have charisma. I also think the ability to frame and talk about your trajectory is something guys don't think about. So when I say trajectory, that means like, where are you going in life? What are your goals?
I saw a video where you talk about that, signaling.
Yeah.
Like things you do now signal.
And it could be professional, it could be your hobbies, it could be your interests. But if you're just like floating along, don't really know what you want to do, that's not going to be attractive. But like what you talked about with Mark, like he's a family man, he wants kids, like he does what he does so he can provide for his future family and life. Like that's really, you probably found that very attractive. It's like, hell yeah. Like that's cool. He like knows what he wants. So I think the ability to talk about what you want and where you're going is really important.
That's really interesting. And it's funny because you guys have a really unique perspective in that you guys are both entrepreneurs in a certain regard, right?
Lauren's like, I am.
Yeah.
Am I?
Well, you have to be entrepreneurial to a certain degree.
She is. No, I think she is. But
Yeah. But if she's not Angelina Jolie, it doesn't count.
I love this though. I'm like, I got a new title today.
Yeah. But because even for you guys, I'm sure it's even a lot different than the average woman, right? Like how they look at dating or relationships. You guys probably have a higher standard. I'm curious for you, Lauren, how did you, kind of switching gears a little bit, how did you get into your career and decide that this is what you wanted to do?
I got divorced.
Really?
Yeah.
And just changed your life after that divorce?
Oh yeah, it ruined me.
How old were you at that time?
I was like 27 or so, somewhere around there.
What were you doing before?
I was acting. So I was acting and modeling, and I was living in LA, and I was pursuing my career as an actor and a model. And
The struggling one?
I was pretty successful.
Early on? Like, how did you get into it where you first started catching momentum?
I got discovered by Playboy. And then from there, I worked for Playboy for 4 years. And
Did you ever meet Hef?
I did.
How was he?
He was a grump.
really?
Oh, yeah.
What?
But I also met him in the time when he had his runaway bride. So he was getting married and Crystal didn't show up. So
What? Oh, that was like after the Girls Next Door
Yeah.
show where he had the 3 girlfriends.
yeah, and he was going to get married to the girl Crystal, who was like the last option.
Was she?
Well, Madison and he
I
like
thought
loved
she wanted
Holly.
to marry. I thought Holly wanted to marry him, and he didn't want to marry her.
Damn, you guys kept up with the show. I love it.
No,
Blaine still remembers.
she didn't. I don't remember to
Okay,
be honest
okay.
exactly what happened,
Yeah.
but
That's cool.
Not to go
I
too far
know
off
that
topic.
he resorted
Okay.
to Crystal, and Crystal ended up not showing up
At the
Wow.
wedding.
at the wedding, and so I met Hef
After the wedding.
that week.
No way.
Yeah, and
I'd be pretty grumpy too.
oh man, I did not judge him at all, and he was just drinking whiskey straight, and he was a grump.
Really?
Yeah, he was in a bad mood. He didn't want to talk to
Yeah.
anyone. I mean, he was not impressed by me.
Right.
He was not impressed by anybody. They're
Right.
talking about the man that has literally seen more tits and ass than any other guy. Like, there's not a tit or an ass in the world that would have like perked that man up.
Yeah.
And so he didn't give a shit. And
Or are they just like carting girls through trying to cheer him up?
well,
Like-
when you're testing, so when you audition for Playboy, they call it testing to be a playmate. So you have 1 month, and like your 1 month of testing, you do a test shoot, you do a video interview, you meet Hef, and then he has ultimate approval.
Whoa, very involved.
Yeah, it's a very intense process. So you always want to impress Hef. Like that's the last
Because
thing.
he could say no.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
he said
culture.
no to me.
Oh.
But he liked me so much, but he didn't think that I should be a playmate, which in the end was
What's a playmate? What does that mean?
A playmate is a centerfold in the Playboy magazine that has a specific month of the year. So
Got it.
you'll be like September of 2022.
Got it.
That was your month. But if you enter that title, you sign a contract for like either 2 to 4 years where you don't own yourself. And so if like Bud Light comes to you and wants to give you $50,000 to do a commercial and Playboy's like, oh, we're actually sponsoring Miller Lite, that's a no.
They get rights
Approval.
They
over
get
approval.
rights
First
over
right
you.
refusal. Yeah.
So
And if you did do a deal, do they get a cut?
everything goes through them.
Okay.
They
They're like
are
your
your
managers.
managers.
Wow. Yeah. In exchange for the distribution and
Yeah.
leverage of-
And if you're a Playmate, you get $25,000, which
That's
is
it?
That's it. You get $25,000
and they made millions.
one time.
Wow, for that month.
For the year? But then they own you for the year.
No, they own you for 2 to 4 years.
yeah.
Wow. That's
Not a good deal, ladies. Don't be taking that deal.
But if you get other deals, like if they can bring you commercial deals and you get parts of that.
Okay.
But anyways,
We digress.
Yeah. So you meet Hugh Hefner, Playboy.
yeah,
and then-
so I did not get Playmate, but he did offer me the cover of the magazine, which was a higher rate pay and no contract.
That seems like the way to go.
I was like, fuck yeah, let's go. So I did the cover, and then I ended up doing 4 special editions, and I never had a contract, and my career really took off.
So
and
what month did you do the cover of?
yeah, we're going to have to look
That's
at
a
that.
great question.
You don't know?
I don't know.
That's like the highlight of women's career.
I can tell you that it was a special edition Playboy magazine. It was called Boobs and Buns. There was a girl on the cover of boobs and a girl on the cover of buns.
What
Don't
were
ask
you?
me how I got buns. I was
you have
like,
great
what are you
boobs.
talking about? My boobs are my like fucking yeah. I was like, okay. And I was so I'm on the back of the magazine, but they considered it a cover because it was Boobs and Buns and it was a dual cover. Anyway, you can go out there and find it. It's Boobs and Buns, Playboy special edition
put it up-
magazine,
we'll put
Lauren
it up on the
Compton. I'm in a
screen.
yellow one-piece swimsuit showing off my butt. Yeah, it was really cool. And then after that, my career took off and I was dating what was then my boyfriend, who then became my husband. And he thought that Playboy was the coolest thing ever. And then, like I said, my career really flourished. I did all kinds of modeling. I did like 4 national commercials. I did all this stuff. Then film started coming to me and then all this stuff.
So it all kind of started coming to you after that. Yeah.
And so then I got married and I was doing film. I was doing like horror films. I was doing comedy films. I was doing TV shows. I had a show that Jim Carrey was the executive producer of.
What was working with him like?
I actually never met him. He was just the executive producer. It was called I'm Dying Up Here. And I did a guest star role on that show, which launched me into TV. And then my husband cheated on me.
Oh, shit.
And so I left and
How'd you find out?
I like caught him.
In the act?
He didn't come home one night.
Oh. So he like wasn't even trying to hide it?
I went on Find My iPhone and I could see that he was down the street. So I drove down the street and when I got there, he came walking out of this door.
Oh, shit.
And I into an Uber, didn't see me. And I was like, what the fuck? So I rushed home as fast as I could. This was like at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my God.
I rushed home, pretended like I was asleep in the bed. He comes in the house. This all happened in Marina Del Rey, California. He comes home. I like pretend to wake up. I'm like, where were you? He's like, West Hollywood. I stayed with my friend Matt. Anyway, I ended up going back to this person's house when he went to work.
And you knocked on the door?
Looking at the mailboxes, I was too scared to knock on the door.
Savage. Wow.
But I couldn't find out who lived there. So later that night when he came home, I was like, I'm having a lot of anxiety. Will you get in the car and just go for a drive with me? And he was like, sure. So I drive as slow as I could back to her house. So he was like, where are we going? I'm like, I don't know. Who lives there?
You're like, my instincts are just taking me here.
I have a feeling.
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He was like, oh my God, that's the hostess of the restaurant. And I go, well, I saw you walk out of there this morning. You're a fucking liar. And he's like, I swear I didn't have sex with her. And I was like, well, that's your fault. Because now you're going to get divorced and you didn't even get laid.
Wow.
And so he had all these excuses about like, he just got too drunk and crashed at our place. So I left.
Till 5 in the morning,
I filed for divorce faster than you could
That day.
imagine. I was unhappy in this marriage.
Sure, that was the catalyst. That was the
Yeah,
final nail in
because
the
I'm
coffin.
so loyal that I never would have left. I would have been there still today.
How long were you guys married?
About 5 years.
oh my God, whoa. So you guys met young.
Yeah.
So 5 years in, he cheats, and then just like
And then
that-
I leave. Yeah, I left, but I was destroyed.
Of course, of course.
And I had no money at the time. He took all of my money.
What do you mean?
We had a shared bank account, and he went and took all of it out. Like, he took all the money that I had. So I had no
my
money.
God.
It was a really big mess. It was horrible. And I was severely, severely, severely depressed. And I ended up calling a girlfriend of mine who was a Playmate of the Year. And I was just venting. And I was like smoking a cigarette. And I was drinking a bottle of champagne. And I was just venting like the marvelous Miss Maisel. And I made her laugh so hard she cried. And she was like, you should really do stand up. And I was like, I don't know about all that. And then she connected me with a girl that's a comedy coach for celebrities. And I ended up taking a 10-week course, and I learned how to write my trauma into comedy, and I learned how to write punchlines, like how to set up a joke. And then after that, I had a 5-minute set. I went to the Ha Ha Cafe Comedy Club in like North Hollywood, I think. Or no, I think it's in Hollywood, wherever it is in California. I did a 5-minute set. I did really good. And
Your first set ever?
My first set, I did really good.
Were you nervous, or walk us through your first set?
Nah, it doesn't matter. It was just, it was a great show.
Okay.
And I cannot say that every show has ever been great. I have bombed more times than I would like to admit.
But you didn't bomb that first time.
But I didn't bomb the first time, so I enjoyed it. I had a good experience. And then I decided to keep trying it. And then it kind of got in my veins, and I started realizing that I could turn my sadness into funniness, and that a lot of people were relating to what I was talking about. Because I was talking about, remember how I told you in the beginning that the bigger the sadness,
the better the punchline.
Yeah. So my punchlines were savage. And so I started, and then
they were real. They were
and the
fresh.
more, the better that I got, the deeper I went, and the more contrasted I tried to get. And then I started getting recognized as a stand-up comedian. And then a couple years later, like I guess it was more than a couple, I moved to Texas. And then I got discovered by Tom Segura and YMH Studios, and they offered me to have a podcast. I'm jumping a lot of years here, but like after working at comedy for about 8 years, I came out here, and Vulcan offered me residency, and I started doing stand up.
Austin's like the head of comedy now, or like the
I didn't
place
know that.
to be. Yeah.
Oh, wow, very cool.
I feel like there's been a big shift from LA, and like really pushed by like, Joe Rogan and
Rogan's in
those
Austin
folks.
now, right?
Yeah. His comedy club, Mothership, is huge. Have you performed there?
I haven't.
Oh wow.
No.
It's a really nice club.
I'll check it out.
I haven't. So with my show that I do now, I have a podcast called First Date, and it's at YMH Studios. And
I saw an episode you did, I think, with Matt Rife. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
He's really good.
Yeah.
I've been friends with him for a decade.
Yeah, his story's awesome. How he just popped off the last few years. He's been at it for a
TikTok,
while.
right?
Yeah.
I got
Like
him
where
on
he got-
TikTok.
Stop.
No way, really?
You Lauren gets credit for Matt Rife's
I
fame.
can also show you a clip of him saying to me on my podcast, he was like, if it wasn't for you, I never would have even been here. Because I told him when TikTok started, I called him up. I was like, dude, fucking post your shit.
You knew him from LA.
Oh, yeah. I've known him for like over 10 years. I've known
Yeah.
him since he was like 20
Yeah.
or 19 even.
How old is he now?
Like late 20s.
Oh, he's young.
Very young. And
That's how you really feel.
very young. Too young.
Yeah.
Too young.
Was it very young? Yeah.
He's very young.
Very single, very
very
young,
single, very
monogamous.
young.
Yes.
But we've done some films together and stuff like that. But anyway, I hounded him about getting on TikTok, sharing his content. He's like, I'm never gonna do that. And I was like, do it. Fucking do it. And then I ended up getting over 2 million followers on TikTok, and he was watching it, and I'm like, do it. And now he's got like over 20 million.
Yeah, his crowd work stuff is amazing.
He's great.
Yeah, his
So
crowd work
funny.
is so funny.
Because it's quick. It's quick,
Yeah.
and it's just like unapologetic, and he doesn't give a fuck.
He's great. He's wonderful.
But he's likable at the same time. You
Yeah.
know? Like he'll do like a straight shot, but then he's so likable, you let him get away with it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, then you talk about you did that early on in your career, and then little by little these doors open up. What advice do you have for people who are pursuing their dreams to do what you're doing? Because there's a lot of people who say they want to do entertainment, comedy, etc. Do you find a lot of it was you aiming for it, or a lot of it was kind of serendipitous? You just kind of did things you enjoy, and things kind of came to you.
I kind of go with the flow. I think you got to know what you want with anything in life. Like, you can't just like want to be in entertainment, and you definitely can't have the angle of I want to be rich and I want to be famous. Like that, then it's like saying you want to go swimming. Like, where do you want to go swimming? Do you want to go swimming in the ocean or a swimming pool? Do you want to jump off a yacht? Like, where are we swimming at?
Yeah, clarity
And
is power.
authenticity matters too. If you're just doing it for the fame or for the riches, like, you're not gonna, I don't think people will respond to you as well, the audience, whether it's on social media or in movies, because you're not being authentic to yourself. And that's true for dating too. If you're trying to put on a face of who you want people to think you are, women have a sixth sense for that shit, and like, it's a no.
Yeah. I think it's okay for you to admire the celebrity. Like, oh, that's so cool, they're in the limelight and stuff. But if you're going to be in entertainment, or you want to get in entertainment, just be clear about why you want to be in it. Sorry.
All good.
Let me turn that off.
All good.
Okay. I think you need to be clear about what direction you want to go in and what your end goal is. I do not like the path of, I'm going to do this for 2 years, and if it doesn't work out, I'm going to quit. Just don't even fucking do it. Just quit. Just don't start. Don't waste your 2 years because you'll never, that's not how it works. If you want to do something, you have to do it like dating. You have to commit to this is something that you want to do.
Whatever
it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of road bumps, and you're probably going to have a side hustle until what you like love doing really pops off. And you have to also digest the fact that it might not ever pop off. You might not, it's not about if you have it or if that's your calling. I think it's so politically charged. It's so about where you are. It's the location. Are you in the right place at the right time? Have you met the right people who can really help you? Or are you meeting a bunch of people blowing smoke up your ass that are just going to waste your time even further? The entertainment is full of wasting your time.
Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. Thank you guys so much for having us here in the studio. And make sure to follow Blaine and Lauren in the description down below. Till next time, live strong, live with passion, and go get those dreams. We'll see you guys on the next episode.